So it was my best friend's wedding day, and it wasn't going well. I got a call first thing in the morning after I got dressed in my fancy wedding gear when he called me to say that his wedding planner friend, who planned the entire wedding, had just quit and taken everything with her. So he was having his wedding in the park. So I raced to the park, and what do you know? It was just trees and grass and stuff, and no wedding paraphernalia of any sort. And I stood there with two of his friends going, what do we do? Like, guests are arriving in 2 hours. One of his friends said, well, I've got a special type of car that has a built-in picnic table in the back. We could take that out and set that up. And we're like, okay, we'll try that. Another friend said, yeah, I've got a sheet in the back of my car that I use for when the dogs are in the car, and we could put that over the table. And then I remembered I had a Bluetooth speaker in the back of the car, and we thought, oh, we could play some nice wedding music off YouTube or something, make do. And we thought, that's sort of okay. We set that up. It was a bit hairy, but it was fine. And so the guests began to arrive, and my friend is like, the battery light is flashing. And I'm like, what? This means no. Then we thought, what are we gonna do? Then we went, I don't know. And then we went racing across the road, and we started knocking on random people's doors, and eventually we found someone who had a Bluetooth speaker that was fully charged, and we could have it just give us some beer later or whatever it is. And so, phew. And so the wedding went ahead, and it was okay. There was a bit of repeating of the playlist, plus some dropouts, but it was quite beautiful in the end. I actually have to admit, the whole situation was sort of fun. I mean, I wouldn't want this to happen at my wedding, but for the rest of us, it was quite cool having to solve problems on the fly and cope with disasters. What do we do? What do we do? And there's a joy in the melodrama here. But we were so close, so close. Couldn't we? Hang on. Great Scott! It reminds me of the mayhem that is Back to the Future, and particularly Back to the Future Part 2. Everything is so silly, which makes the drama much more enjoyable. But the stakes are high enough that you end up with...
I foresee two possibilities. One, coming face to face with herself 30 years older would put her into shock and she'd simply pass out. Or two, the encounter could create a time paradox, the results of which could cause a chain reaction that would unravel the very fabric of the space-time continuum and destroy the entire universe. Granted, that's a worst-case scenario. The destruction might, in fact, be very localized, limited to merely our own galaxy. Well, that's a relief.
This is the joy of a purely or largely plot-driven scenario, with all the elements interconnecting in such a way as to produce scenes of whirling mayhem and complexity.
You see, while we were in the future, Biff got the sports book, stole the time machine, went back in time, and gave the book to himself at some point in the past. Look.
I mean, Part 2 gets a bad rap because it's mainly a fetch quest for a sports almanac, but something about the chaos of the film is just so fun.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Doc, I'm in trouble, I blew it.
This is clearly the great joy of farce, too.
Oh my God, look at that! Look! That's enough. Thank you. Anything else we can do for you?
To compile a set of joyfully amusing but also credible events which produce unexpectedly joyful disasters which are all exciting to be a part of.
Murder! Murder! Oh, spiffing. Absolutely spiffing. Well done. 2 dead, 25 to go.
In fact, the chaos of the situation itself...
Look, sir. I've got to go back in time and sacrifice myself in order that we can get into this mess we're in now in the first place.
...is actually what can lend us to crack a smile.
All in all, today's been a bit of a bummer, hasn't it, sir?
The joy you find at coming to a solution, however inadequate and haphazard, well, this'll just have to do, at least we tried. Something about this idea is captured by the music used for joyful chaos too.
I'm gonna tell you something. Don't get sentimental now, Dad. Save it till we get out of here. The floor's on fire.
This music is actually wholly inappropriate for scenes of dire seriousness, which is why Saving Private Ryan doesn't have music like Star Wars. But if you take some of the music and apply it to your daily life...
Head for the fireplace!
Perhaps when you're running late... you could even just manufacture a situation like this.
Come on, this tunnel leads to the work face. See this device?
Looks like a watch.
It's a crisis inducer. I set it to Mark 9, and... Hurry! They're after us!
Who?
No, come on, through the tunnel, they're coming! But they're coming!
Well, if you say so.
It's remarkable because I think we're often tempted to be frustrated by misfortune or unfortunate situations, yet this perspective allows you to run with it, even maybe enjoy it. Oh no!
Great